Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques.
Good morning, Howard.
And I got two old antiques across from me and one young whippersnapper.
I'd be the old antique.
Well, you weren't the young whippersnapper.
I know that. I'm vintage.
Well, yes, sir.
You would not do no good at age and weight.
No.
You know that Ronnie's only like 41. Did
Really?
you know that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
It's been a rough 41 years.
Yeah, it's been rough.
You have that old saying about rode hard and put up wet?
Yeah.
That's what's happened to him.
I could have swore he was about 76 or so.
That's a good example of rode hard and put up wet. Hey, listen, we want to remind everybody, you can go to my Facebook. You can watch every show that we've done.
Oh, yeah.
And you can go to YouTube.
Yeah, well, if you want to watch every show you've done, you need to go to PED Productions or YouTube page, because that's by far the easiest way to find.
Yeah, because you'd
all
have to
the ones.
scroll a long way.
I watch them all.
That's where there's a playlist of all 4 full years and 2 months.
So how many shows have we done, Philip?
I don't know, there's 52 in a year. We've only missed a couple.
So we've done over 200 shows?
200 and something, yeah, 210.
That's a lot of shows.
Like that.
And
I've heard of binge watching on TV.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we need to find some sponsors, and we'll run like a marathon. You know, we'll do it
Oh,
all
on the
weekend.
holidays.
Let's
That's what
Talk
you do on the
Antiques is a
holidays.
great show to binge watch.
There you go.
Yeah.
And put you to sleep.
I saw a sign up there by Hardee's that said
Especially-
Let's Talk Antiques on
Yeah,
it.
There
we
you
got
go.
that new sign up there.
Yeah.
And Chris Ann's going to get it painted here in the next day or two. So we'll have it'll look good.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then, of course, out my house on the end of the old building, you can
I
see
saw
the
it.
whole crew.
I pointed it out to my kids the other day to explain how famous I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they
And-
believe you?
You're infamous, right?
And, Philip,
And
yeah, what'd they say
oh,
about Daddy being
oh,
famous?
they just laughed. Yeah.
Well,
That's okay.
also,
Hey,
though,
yeah.
Philip, they can go to my page, and we need them to like and share, don't we?
True.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Explain
Share.
that to them.
It bumps it up in the Facebook ratings so that more you know how Facebook will automatically suggest things on your feed as it goes by, and so the more people like and share something, the more likely it is to pop up on that. Plus, by like and sharing it, you also share it to your friends, and,
Right.
and they get to find out about us.
Who also like and share.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We hope.
Yes.
I didn't know you wore glasses.
Only for things that are a foot and a half away.
Oh, okay.
Only
And
when he wants to
screens
see.
that are very
Hey,
small.
When
you
I
got
want
a
to
small
really see it.
computer
I
today.
do,
What
yeah.
happened?
My MacBook is sitting on my kitchen table.
Oh, you forgot
ready to
it?
go out the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't know. You need stickers.
I sat it there.
So
I
you need stickers all around, like when you head out your back door, and then you list the things that you're supposed to carry with you.
Oh, is that right?
Or would you walk right past the sticker?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what my mom
I used to
do
tie a
that, but I
string
didn't do
around my finger to remind me of things. I couldn't remember why I tied the string around.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that.
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't work.
Okay, so today we want to talk about salesman samples. Dr. Huff, we've talked about him before, but he had his own pharmacy, and after the Civil War, he created a lot of patent medicines, and he actually opened his first drugstore in 1873. Yeah, but prior to that, though,
I don't remember that.
you don't. Prior to that, though, he made patent medicines and shipped them all over the world. But in between the drugstore business and on up until, he owned that till the 40s. It was still. But he would hire salesmen, and they would travel in horse and buggy, horse and wagon.
Yeah.
And so they would have samples of stuff. And so companies started making, like if you ordered a ice box, they would make that ice box in miniature, say a foot high and whatever the dimensions, and it would look exactly like the product that you were trying to sell to the wholesalers or the distributors.
Right.
And like a lot of salesman sample stuff's got out there, furniture. Coca-Cola was good about doing their. The companies that were making the machines for Coca-Cola would bring those salesman samples, and so that they could sell other people that same box without
Right.
the Coca-Cola name. And there's a lot of those salesman Coca-Cola machines on eBay, and they bring a lot of money. I've seen some of them bring $5,000.
Wow.
for a sample.
For a sample.
For a sample.
And
yeah.
not only do you have those kind of samples, if you years ago when you'd open up a box of cigars, of course I don't smoke, so I don't know now, but you would see when you opened up that box that had all the cigars in it, in the back of it, it had a label, a real pretty nice looking label.
Yeah.
They still do that.
I couldn't tell you about that, but
Yeah.
I know that I used to have I got my aunt's butterfly collection when I was a kid, and it was about 30 cigar boxes full of butterflies.
Right.
And they had some really nice
Right.
designs in there.
Well,
Cigar
well those
boxes.
labels, there was printing companies who would print those labels, and they would send them to these cigar companies, and it would even actually say sample on it.
Oh, okay.
And some of those, and you're going to see here when you look them up, that some of those cigar labels, like I think one's like $3,000.
I saw like sample books, you know, where they would like concept art, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
concept art today.
Oh yeah.
And you know, when we was younger, you used to get stuff in cigar boxes all the time. People give you a cigar box with this or that. Nowadays, how many people give you a cigar box?
No.
Well, not like it used to
The
be.
boxes are expensive
Yeah,
nowadays.
I think a box of cigars probably costs more than it used to in
Mhm, yeah.
retrospect, too.
Yeah.
Well, and the boxes themselves are collectible.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, you got to keep in mind, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have it where you could actually pull the picture right up and show somebody.
Right.
And even today, you know, you can actually do the 3D stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but they didn't have that kind
They
of
didn't.
stuff. So they actually went to work and made a product look just like what you was going to
Yeah.
buy. Hey, there's a really good, and you'll get to this too, but there's a beautiful buggy, complete, you know, that they made to sell to, you know, the companies wanted to sell their buggies.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's just
Well-
washer machines.
Well, we talked a few weeks ago about the little promo cars that the
Yes.
Same
automobile
concept.
companies
Right,
used to
yeah.
make, you
Yes.
know, and they used to hand those out at car shows. And
Remember how
stuff like-
detailed it was?
They were just like the real. Matter of fact, I got one over at the house, and I was looking at it after that program, and when I turned it over, they had printed on the bottom like they were bragging about their exhaust system or their brakes, or
Oh,
something. It
wow,
was
cool.
kind of printed and to highlight the features of that particular car. And I never really noticed that until after I was looking at after we had talked about it here.
Yeah.
So did you
They
put it on
get you
eBay and
thinking,
sell it?
though.
Not yet.
He probably will.
I'm holding out for $5,000.
Everybody sell the grandpa's train, there ain't no problem. He'll sell the promo.
You'll
product.
sell it all.
But and you were talking about sample kits. I remember my mother was a Avon dealer at one time, and they when she became an Avon dealer, you know, they had the home parties and stuff with
Yeah.
ladies.
I'm sure there was
And they
lots
had she had like a sample suitcase, I guess, a little suitcase, and it had like wee little lipsticks in it.
Oh, really?
You know,
Okay.
of all the different colors. Well, so she went to a place, you know, the ladies could see it and try it on, you know, but
Yeah.
they were a wee little, and of course, there was like little perfume things, and I don't know what all, but there was little samples that when she had her party, you know, try to sell these ladies this stuff. They wanted to know what this particular scent smelled like. Well,
Exactly.
here was a
Sure,
little,
yeah.
it seemed like some of them were like little glass tubes. You broke them open, and it was just enough.
Gosh, I could vaguely remember my mom having
something like that, you know.
yeah.
They were like a little, about yay long and real small. And I think you broke the top off
Well,
or something,
yeah, it's
and,
when-
and
yeah.
you could put the scent on your
Avon had all types of decorative bottles. They had little trains.
Oh yeah, well
you know.
now, when you bought, no matter of fact, I think I might have a couple of those stuck somewhere.
I think
there
I've
was
got one of the
there was a
trains.
Thunderbird car, and there was a radiator for a car, but they made
was given to
bottles
me by my mother. I
of
sold
men's
it.
cologne, you know, in these funds. But that's not samples; that was for
Yeah.
the end product. But
Yeah, you talking about that? Remember when the liquor companies done that too? They made
Oh,
trains
yeah,
and all kinds
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah.
I think I have a complete train set.
empty,
I don't know.
the bottle's empty.
I don't know.
Oh, the bottles were.
Yeah.
They were the liquor.
Were in the shape of a
these-
train.
oh yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
got
I
the
thought you
engine
meant
and
just
the
a
cars
promotion.
and everything.
And they had fancy little plastic work on it,
And
you know,
yeah.
like where you unscrew, like on the cars.
On the cap.
You slid that front end off the cap on those cars, on the Avon cars, and then you unscrewed it.
Yeah, then you could open it up.
Yeah.
Y'all are all over my head. I'm sorry. That's it.
Oh,
Well, back to samples, you know.
Now,
yeah, we kind of deviate.
You,
don't we?
you haven't drank any whiskey out of a sampled
Out of a
decanter?
train? No, I have never.
Out of a collectible?
You know, I believe I remember seeing like at maybe my friends' houses when I was a kid.
I've seen
that
them.
They had some like dark colored glass that was like a antique car or something like that. But
Well,
it was like on a shelf, and I just never even thought
I've seen
about
it in
about
guitars,
it.
you know,
So-
whiskey and little
No,
guitar
no, I've
shaped
never
bottles.
seen any of that.
Well,
Not
and,
national.
and I tell you something, Howard. I think they got that idea. Remember when the candy companies used to make?
Oh, yeah.
They'd put candy in those glass jars,
Yeah.
and they'd be shaped like cars.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Mayor Myers give my wife in the early '70s when he was a little boy. He had a candy jar shaped like a car, and I don't remember which car, what kind of car it was, but we still got it. But that was a big thing to sell your product.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, a kid would want a glass car.
Sure.
Talk about conversation pieces.
Yeah.
They got them talking about their
Yeah,
products
and I'll tell you
showing
something
it to their
else.
friends.
Baseball cards, you know, they stuck that piece of bubble gum in there.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. You used to buy bubble gum just to get the cards.
Yeah, there you are.
You know, because you were looking for a particular guy, and you'd buy more than what you really needed just to look. And then, of course, you'd trade the other ones, hopefully,
Yeah.
to your buddies that were looking for them.
Yeah, I never had any good luck.
Oh, we used to
trading.
walk around with a great old stack of cards, you know.
We all had the same ones. It seems like, you know.
So I wonder if you could tell a little kid that collected a lot of baseball cards. I wonder if his teeth was in as good a shape as the one that didn't.
I doubt it.
Well, that's hard.
What
to,
do you think?
That's debatable.
They bought them for the gum.
But the world has changed,
Yes.
and some of it's really good, and some of it, you know, maybe not. But
Yeah.
one thing about it, they don't build those salesman samples no more.
And a lot of those came in a special bag or a suitcase that had the company
Yeah.
name and everything
Sure
on
it did.
And so if you can find that sample kit, the suitcase, and if it happens to be semi-complete,
Oh,
you're
then
probably
you
worth
really
quite a
got
good bit of
something.
money.
I'll tell you what I got, Howard. And it's a big leather case. It looks almost like a suitcase. If you can imagine it, it opens up in the each end, and then in the middle, there's some more. And what it is, it's a hardware salesman sample.
Oh, yeah.
It's got everything from nuts and bolts to bulbs to whatever, and
Yeah.
it's just about full. But
Really?
you're talking about heavy.
Oh, my, I
I
bet.
say that old boy. That old boy had some muscles on him to load that thing up every day.
Yeah.
All that metal stuff.
But
in
I mean,
there.
it's got all kind of. I've actually used some pieces out of it, working on some of that old stuff that I have.
You do know you're decreasing the value, don't you?
I
Using
can't
stuff
help it.
like-
I needed that screw or that hinge.
I was fixing to say it'd be short if I had it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'd have to use it.
Anyway, it was
Stuff you
a
can't find.
really nice case.
Yeah.
It was leather,
Right.
and it looks like basically a giant suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah, they well, like you said, nowadays, they come in with a laptop and they can show them
iPad.
anything, or iPad, same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They got past the laptop.
Yeah, they've
And
gotten
yeah, I guess they're
smaller
past
than
that. And and they got the 3D image, and you can see all sides and top and bottom and
Yeah.
schematics and everything. See, they had to carry all that stuff.
Yeah.
In paper books or samples or models.
that. Sure.
Now they carry one little piece of hardware and they've
Yeah.
got everything in the world at their fingertips.
You know, it's amazing too how the world has evolved from building that to doing just the iPad. But think like the roofers. They would
yeah.
have sample roofs, little sample roofs made up. I mean, shingles. I mean,
I saw some of the metal ones,
You
when
have?
they were selling those metal
Yeah.
shingles. Just all different
but you
ones.
think like the hardware guy. It's not like it is today. It's not the Home Depots and the Ace Hardware and all that. There was a lot individuals on those,
Right.
and most of them were in general stores. They actually had a hardware section,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them had just hardware. But most time when they had just the hardware, they had bicycles and
Remember that?
appliances
Yeah.
and all that. You remember,
I remember the handy dandies,
right?
had stuff like that.
Right. So that salesman, he made his living by going to those independent stores
Right.
and selling his product.
Well, see now too, when a salesman makes a sale, he goes to Walmart in Benton, Arkansas, and I don't know if you've ever seen that on the. Where a few years ago they were showing how the buying process for Walmart.
Oh.
When they present to a representative from Walmart, let's say, and they end up buying, $2 or $3 million worth of stuff. But back in the old days, you went from store to store because there weren't any major chains at that time. It was probably in the 40s when the chains started, chain stores, and they were regional. A lot of those.
That's what my brother used to work at a gas grill manufacturing company in Dixon, and they were courting Walmart. But they said that they ended up not doing it because the amount of product they would have to put out meant that they would have to move all their manufacturing to China, and they couldn't guarantee they couldn't find anybody who could keep the quality what it was.
Right, that was a problem because I remember on that particular program, the guy went in. They were following this couple. I think it was a husband and wife, and they had a small manufacturing facility of some sort, and they were hoping to sell them for like $5 each, let's say.
Yeah.
And Walmart, we'll buy them. Well, we want 1 million pieces, and we want them for $1 or $1.50 each or something. And they couldn't do it.
But how many small companies do you think people like the Walmarts and others, not just Walmart?
Yeah, I'm
those
just
big
picking
chains have broke those individual small companies that made those products.
Well, sometimes that does happen.
They broke whole
like
towns.
I know a company that had a big contract. And they were doing great locally, and so to do the contract, they had to move part of their works out in Texas, and then they got to the point where they was manufacturing. They stretched out.
Yeah.
And they leveraged them.
Yeah.
And said, hey, we're not going to pay you that whatever dollar for that product. Now we're going to pay you 20% less.
Right.
They couldn't do it. They went broke.
Yeah.
And also, if you ramp up and then you lose the contract, then all of a sudden
you're gone.
Yeah.
Hey,
we got to take a break here pretty soon.
And then we're going to get on to the salesman sample, a little history about
Salesman
it,
samples.
and then we're going to look up a few things.
Oh, okay. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back, and we just had a caller. Correct me there. It's Bentonville, Arkansas, for the headquarters of
Same
Walmart.
thing.
Well,
I guess Benton and Bentonville are close by. I
you
don't
got
know.
the right state. You know, that
At
counts
least
for a
got the
lot.
right state.
Yeah,
but thanks for
that is one.
correcting me there.
See, that proves that we have some listeners.
Yeah, somebody's
Well,
listening.
proves we have one listener.
One.
I'm gonna say
Well,
we have
maybe-
a lot of
maybe,
people only one.
Maybe we need a few more to call in. Hopefully we won't.
I'll try and mess up some facts. And
Well,
see if we
hopefully we can get them to call in without messing up facts. Okay, so we're going. You want to hear the history about a salesman sample, Harry?
What happens if I say no?
You hear it anyway.
Then we're going to go straight to the
throw it to
salesman
you.
sample.
Let's hear.
So you got a lot of power.
Let's hear the. No, I don't.
All right.
Let's hear the history.
Salesman samples are scaled down versions of real products used to demonstrate features or to retailers or potential customers, also known as salesman samples or salesman's samplers. Okay. These miniature goods were popular in the late 19th and early 20th century as they were easily transportable by traveling salesmen and allowed dealers to display a variety of items in their showrooms that could then be ordered directly from the manufacturer. Unlike toy versions of household items aimed at children, Many salesman samples were highly detailed with working parts so they could be used to demonstrate full functionality. The miniatures were typically labeled with a product name and company logo and included brochures with marketing copy pointing out important details of the product. Often the samples were carried in a specifically designed briefcase, which sometimes contains several versions of the same item in a range of colors, styles, or finishes. Salesman samples were manufactured by major companies such as Avon, John Deere, General Electric, Sears, and Coca-Cola. Products adapted for miniature salesman samples included kitchenware, stoves, sewing machine, cash registers, tractors, books, dolls, cameras, perfumes, light bulbs, suitcases, shoes, telephones, steam engines, rugs, gates, coffins, swimming pools, neon lights, and much more. Generally, the more a vintage salesman's sample remains true to the original product and its working features, the higher its value is to collectors.
So you've got that right there. Just give them a list. Go back to where you was.
Sure.
And if you'll scroll down, it's on my right-hand side, but I think it's on your bottom half.
Okay, yeah.
Just give them some examples of what's on eBay right now. Not completed auction, but there's a fire plug, a salesman sample fire plug.
You know those samples in John Deere's case went from being samples to a regular product.
Oh, yeah.
They have whole sections now dedicated to the
Oh, absolutely.
tractor toys.
And it won't just be the tractor; it'd be the plows, it'd be it all.
Everything,
But
huh?
look here, there is a salesman sample right now of a fire plug.
A Ludlow Valve 90.
Yeah, how many bids it got, and how many? And now this is active, so we ought to tell them
Yeah.
a few of these things that's on there now.
That's got 5 days left with 17 bids, and it's up to $455.
For a
A
salesman sample fire plug.
Fire plug.
That thing's going to bring a lot of money. And what about that little tent?
There's a Coleman mini tent salesman's store sample, $75. Hey, just to point out something real quick, at Walmart, I noticed last time I was looking for a sleeping bag, they have like little miniature, like 1 foot by 1 foot sleeping bag things, so you can stick your hand in with the zipper and
see how
kind
warm
of
they are.
know what it's going to be like before you
I
know
saw
they don't want you
those.
unrolling
It's different.
the thing in there. So.
Well, how about a duck? If you're a duck hunter,
A salesman sample animal trap wood decoy. There's 16 bids on that. It's up to $91 with 4 days left.
what if you shoot marbles?
Is that the vintage antique granite ware, blue and white marble?
It looks like a marble, but it's granite.
No,
ware.
okay,
It's like
just
a
granite.
dish.
Yeah. 3 bids on that, up to $28 so far.
What about the Alice Chandler, the coupler?
It is.
That's just a coupler.
Yeah. 5 bids on it so far, $223 with 1 day left. On that.
Howard,
Wow.
tell people what a coupler is.
That puts things together, holds things together.
Yeah.
Now, now that you mentioned that coupler on that steam engine that I sold,
Yeah. Your grandpa's.
the one my grandfather built,
Yeah.
it was a 1-inch scale.
Heirloom.
Yeah, it was a 1-inch scale of a real of a railroad locomotive, which meant that the track was approximately 5 inches wide because it's
Okay.
4 foot. Some odd
Did you include it with the
This is the
frame?
standard, but so they made it an even 5. On the front of that engine, there was a coupler made out of aluminum. That was must have been a salesman sample.
See there?
To
And
be
it,
able to gotten it that small. Yeah.
and it it actually worked like a real coupler, and I suppose that's a salesman took that around
Probably.
from rail car company to rail car company.
Probably was.
And show them how you had the little pin that you pulled, and the knuckle opened up so that when the other one came in, they latched like this together. See.
Now, you want to hear the good news?
And the thing is, that coupler is probably worth more than the engine.
Well, you want to hear the good news? Tell him what that coupler's bringing, and it's still got some time.
Yeah, $223. Yeah, there you go.
But it's still got how much time? A day
Just
left.
a day. Yeah.
For one couple.
For one.
And that's 5 bids.
That's 5 bids. Oh my!
Well, what about that? Those 30 Coca-Cola bottles,
Yeah.
pure
Nice.
as sunlight.
1930 Coca-Cola Purist Sunlight Salesman samples bottles. let's see, there are 15 bids on that with 5 days left to go. It's at $47. You've probably seen those before. How big are
they little or are they full size?
They're small.
They're little
they're just
cases,
little-
you know, so
like
the
little
bottles
bottles.
come in and out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They set them on back of the little
So just a
trucks.
couple inches?
Yeah. Not very tall. Well, what about now? What is this one thing here? Salesman sample, that stove. Now, look how fancy that thing is. That one.
I'll have to pull that up and actually see that.
That is a good looking. Now, this is a salesman sample. Little cast iron stove.
Anti-cast iron salesman sample Eagle cast iron stove with bread warmer shelves.
Most people don't know what that is.
I know.
But we do, don't we?
Yeah.
Howard?
$325. And the detail in this thing, like, it's got a bunch of pictures of it. And it looks like my great-grandmother's cast iron stove that was at her house.
Speaking of cigars.
It's amazing.
Speaking of cigars,
Yeah.
we were.
We was
Fixing to-
earlier.
Oh, earlier, yeah.
Hey, right across from the stove is a cigar box.
Very rare salesman sample TAW. 12 bids on that with 2 days left to go. $41.
Okay. Now, if you was at a
Sample
riding
cigar
trail
box,
and
yeah.
you needed a few saddles, guess what he just found?
There you go. You have your sample Western style saddles. 2 bids on that for $12. It didn't bring that
Now,
much.
how,
9 hours.
But it's still got 9 hours.
how big are those saddles?
I was sitting here
Small.
thinking that same thing.
It's
That
Maybe
you
like
could be-
Couple-
3 inches.
couple, 3
yeah.
inches?
Yeah.
Yeah, small.
but completely detailed.
Yeah,
I mean,
just like the.
How about
Yeah.
what about an ice box? How much can you buy that ice box for? Buy it now.
just for $5.75. It's probably a lot easier to
It's a
transport
wooden ice
too.
box. now.
wooden?
with ceramic insides or what would that be? That'd be
That'd be the
ceramic. Yeah.
I
It'd be
think-
really like porcelain.
Porcelain.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And,
Okay.
and they had like, the metal on the outside of it.
Well, they had either the metal lined inside or the porcelain line. This one here's got porcelain.
Porcelain.
And had now they did make the metal ones, right? But this one here's the
Those
wooden
are the
one.
ones I've seen.
Yeah, this is the wooden one. It's pretty.
I like the miniature anvil salesman sample.
Yeah.
4 days left to go. It's got 13 bids. It's $51 for a little miniature anvil.
Anvil.
Well, that,
It would have to be
that'd
miniature
go
to
with
be
the
an
miniature
anvil.
saddle, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's all horse
There you
stuff.
go.
The blacksmith.
Shipping on that's probably a whole lot better than the full size sample.
Yeah.
Yes.
Full size
A little
anvil
bit.
too.
Oh, those anvils
We've
bring
covered
Hey,
those
what about
before.
that safe right there?
money.
Where you've lost me.
$1,175 for a sample, a safe.
But it's a working sample.
Yes.
In other words, it has tumblers and everything.
Yeah,
neat how-
but it's still got 2 days left, and it's got 7 bids, and it's $1,175 for a sample. Did you see it? It's right. Keep going.
Yeah,
right there.
I got you. Huh. I bet it works completely
does
too.
too.
That's amazing.
What about a trolling motor? You need one of them?
That's
a little
surprise.
trolling motor.
Go with the little boat.
Sample
Have
trolling.
With a little
LePage
boat?
motor.
Well, we only got the trolling motor.
Okay.
That's LePage Motor Boat Company. 2 bids, $375 with 3 days to go.
My
Think
goodness.
I wonder if
about
it
that.
runs.
Yeah, I wonder.
Sure, it runs.
I bet it
I
does.
guarantee it
Electric.
runs.
If it doesn't run, at
motor.
least.
No, it's
you-
electric. They make it.
Oh, electric.
No. They.
Oh, this was a trolling motor.
They
yeah.
put that on a
Yeah.
sample
Oh, yeah.
boat house.
Yeah.
Yeah, sample boat,
Sample boat.
motor. Hey, what about now? Here we go. Everybody remembers when I was in high school, that 10-carat ring cost me $35.
Oh, yeah, your class ring?
Yeah. Well, guess what? What he's just found.
Well, 24 salesman sample class rings. He had the box with
Yeah.
all the different
24.
versions you could get.
Right.
So here's 24 sample rings. $250 is the current bid on that with 4 days to go.
That's probably cheap.
That's
pretty
low.
cheap.
Yeah, well, it won't. None of them will fit on your finger though.
Oh, they're all little, little wee.
They're little rings.
Oh, I thought it was 24.
Maybe they
No.
might fit on a pencil,
It's a whole
a
set,
wooden
though.
pencil. You remember?
Yeah.
They fit on a little
Well,
kid's finger.
hey, Ronnie.
Can't
Now
make
here's
it too
something up your alley on the right.
All right.
This vintage Scripto view lighter table models.
No, I was
sample
thinking
set.
more of the toilet.
Oh, okay.
The
Sorry.
vintage
You know, he
toilet.
is a plumber
got one
electrician.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry. Let me finish the
Hey,
view
some of
lighter
them old
Yeah.
table
toilets
model.
bring good money.
5 bids at $38 for the lighter sample. Let's see.
We're
Now
at
that's
about break time here again.
Okay,
We're looking at
you
a
wanna do it
sample
now?
Yeah,
toilet here,
whenever-
right?
Well, wait a minute. Let's do this one toilet.
The
toilet.
sample toilet.
Yeah, because Ronnie might need a few of them.
Well, it's a toilet bowl sample.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sample.
No lid, Ronnie.
$99, no lid. It's a nice print though on the.
They probably have a
It's got
sample
the,
lid
it's
in
got
the
the
box.
company's
got the
name on
company's
the back of
logo
the
on it.
toilet.
There you
You
go.
Is
know,
that what
on the
company it is?
inside. You ready to go pay that? kid?
Yeah,
read it
we
from
Is this
here.
the gas bill?
Yeah, I think probably is. Yes.
Oh, we already done the light bill, right?
Yeah.
right.
All right. Here comes. We'll be right.
We'll be right
I
back.
lost my train of thought. We'll be
I
right
said-
back.
Can't imagine.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We're on the iPad.
Oh,
now.
he's got
Oh,
some
we
good
got
stuff.
something that you like.
What's
So,
that?
so your car that you had would it happen to be a 1960 Plymouth Valiant?
No,
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
but I'll
they-
take it.
Okay. There's one right on there right now that's a salesman sample promo. 9 bids on that with 5 hours, so it's almost done. $51.
Wow.
So, vintage Clairol makeup, salesman display, salon sample case.
Ah, yeah, going to the shops.
Kind of like the Avon.
Yeah.
$150 is to buy it now on that one.
What about that bicycle?
Here is a vintage bicycle salesman sample, and it's in the back of a truck bed, so you can get an idea. It's either like 1.5 to 2 foot tall for a fully working bicycle. It's just pretty nice. The buy it now on that's $50.
That's pretty reasonable for
Yeah.
like gas.
Give them a high dollar one before we go to those complete. What do you got that's high dollar?
Here's a garage door. Here you go.
All right, a sample garage
A
door.
number
all right.
806 National Garage Door. $400 for us to buy it now on that one.
Golly. What about that chair over to the right?
Miniature salesman sample child's chair. Sized for a doll if you want it for that. Buy it now is $142.
Now, you know, a lot of, I bet you a lot of those people that collect those dollhouses, they actually got salesman sample furniture because
Yes.
it looks so real.
Yeah.
Like the stoves, like the refrigerators, like the ice box.
Right.
They want it to be real.
Yeah.
We do have
There's a
a
big demand for that dollhouse furniture, all the vintage stuff.
wooden sample toilet seat to go along
To
with
go
that
along
toilet.
with the toilet.
Miniature toilet.
How much
Yeah.
is it?
You have a seat.
4 bids with 3 days left. It's up to $51. It's more than toilet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, it's colored, it's not white.
There you go.
you know.
That's wood.
Colors are a little higher.
All right, so
Oh.
we got some sold things.
Yeah.
Here.
All
Do
right.
you want to use my iPad or are you
No,
good
I'm
with
fine.
that?
So they wanted $3,800, and they got over $3,000 for a qualified range company salesman sample cast iron stove.
Cast iron.
Now think about
Now,
that.
a
Now
sam-
that
a sam-
does have the warming ovens.
Yeah.
This doesn't have the warming oven.
It don't have?
No, this
No.
doesn't have.
Oh, it don't
on the
have?
side. No.
Hey, Howard, speaking of warming ovens, you remember Ronnie's and mine's grandma, she had the fanciest wooden stove, and it had them 2 big warming ovens, one on the right and left, and she kept the kindling behind it, but it was a fancy porcelain. Hey, and I'll tell you something else it had? Hot water.
Yeah. They had a tank
Now,
on
that's
it.
rare.
You could
It had the
keep
tank
water
with the hot water.
I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about that.
And I tell you what, when you was a little kid, if you went over to grandma's, after breakfast, if they had biscuits left, or dinner, if they had cornbread or whatever, it'd be up in that warming
Warming
oven.
oven.
So you could open that warming oven and get you still a hot biscuit.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
That's good
And
stuff.
and food
Especially on a day like
tasted
this.
better on that.
Heck
Those
yeah.
old
Yeah,
stoves. They
but-
really
I
did.
believe
I
it.
don't know why that. Maybe it was because Grandma was cooking it.
That's it.
That's it.
But it always
And-
tasted so
But you
great.
remember, it's really nice in the wintertime. It'd be nice and warm.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's kind of
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can make the kitchen hot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's one of the reasons why in some of the real old fancy houses,
The kitchens would be
the kitchen was a separate room, a building. It was
Yeah.
actually
Separate.
And
Right.
to get to that building, but it was it had the side roof. But you remember what they called that thing between the house and the kitchen?
It was a servant something. What
No.
was it?
No.
Do you remember what they called it? A dog trot.
oh,
A dog trot.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't know
I
that.
don't remember
Yeah.
that.
That's what they called it.
No.
That little
All right.
space
Yeah.
between them.
Later,
Dog trot.
later it became known as a breezeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Originally it was a dog trot.
Yeah, a dog
Dog
trot.
trot.
Okay.
All right.
Go, keep going.
All right. Well, I said, did you finish? Kansas City Chiefs, 1966. Salesman sample. Real 10-karat gold, 32.3 grams. Sample ring.
Oh, I see. Okay.
$3,000.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's not.
that thing's got a lot going for it.
It does.
It's gold and the Chiefs.
Yeah. What is it? Gold is what, $1,200 an ounce? So it doesn't take much. Well,
Is that what
gold-
it is?
I think that's
2
what it was
ounces.
the last
Yeah, there
time
you
I
go.
saw. I'm not a gold
Now
dealer,
20.
Seems to me it
No,
was over
little over
$1,000.
an ounce, yeah. Vintage Tiger Maple Salesman sample. Says it's 14-inch miniature drop front desk. This is a beautiful, I guess, secretary desk type thing. Man, really nice. 14 inches, $2,695. That's what that's
Gee.
You can't get that for the real one.
That's what I was going to say. I could buy a real desk cheaper than that.
Yeah, I mean,
It
you know,
won't fit in your
furniture,
dollhouse though.
A lot,
furniture
a lot
has
of
made an
detailed work in
adjustment.
that piece.
Yeah.
Sir.
You know, it don't bring like it did.
No.
Neither does glassware. But I'll tell you one thing: those miniatures hadn't went down. Those salesman samples.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, you know, it took more work to make those things
Heck,
that small
yeah.
than you know,
And I'll tell you
a
something.
real
Oh,
one.
I'll tell you
man-made.
something else, Ronnie. There wasn't a lot of them made.
No.
Here's a
And then how many survived out of those?
Yeah.
true a salesman sample. This is a windmill farm water pump, Aero
Oh.
Mortar Samson
that's
brand.
Yeah.
So this is a windmill. I guess a working pump if you
Yeah.
connect it
I
to.
guarantee
So
you.
we turn the shaft.
They
pumps
wanted
water.
$3,000 and they got north of $2,500 for it. Man. Here's a 1920s blue enamel qualified range company salesman sample stove. So another cast iron. 22 bids went for $2,500. Oh, here you go. Here's a billiard table salesman sample mahogany. Doubles as a dining table, coffee table. They wanted $2,700 and they got at least 22 for it. And
How big
it's
would you say that is?
100 and
The only ones I know that actually used a billiard table for a dining table was the Beverly Hillbillies. And you remember they used the poo sticks to pass the food.
Yeah, seems like I remember seeing that one
Let
time.
me pull up the details, see if I can get. This is shipping from Australia, so you never know
Oh,
what.
okay, so that's in
what there?
Australia.
What does the description say about it?
Description. Okay.
Now we're still on the poo table.
46 centimeters long, 30 centimeters wide, and 18.5 centimeters high.
Now they're
What's that
giving
in
that in
American?
centimeters.
Howard, are
that's
you
not
gonna
much.
you
What's
gonna
that in
convert
American?
that for us real quick?
It's small.
Yeah,
Small, okay.
small. That's a good description.
I don't know. I get
Two,
mixed-
2.5 centimeters in an inch, 18.5 centimeters high, so it's less than a foot high.
Yeah.
We'll say 9 inches
about
tall.
9
That's
inches.
that's my
Okay.
quick conversion.
Okay. I'll buy those numbers.
I'm willing to be
Yeah,
corrected
you're
by a
young.
listener
You're
from
young. You know all
Canada.
that centimeter stuff. And they told us we was gonna have to change over it, but we hadn't yet.
We
have
beat
we?
Made
them.
it yet.
We beat them back. Yeah, we
I
did.
can't understand why we're the dominant power economically in the world, and we're
We gotta adjust
and we're the
everybody
only
else's
ones
stuff.
that doing inches.
We should have.
Well-
we should have converted everybody else.
Yeah,
over
that-
to
You know
Went
the
the
nice
other way.
thing about those. What's the other? What do they use like on wrenches? What do they call that?
Oh, millimeter, yeah.
Millimeter?
Metric
Yeah.
and standard.
Metric, yeah, they use the.
Well, anyway, like if a 12 don't work, you can go to a 13. But You got to figure that out in the
A crescent wrench adjustable. board.
Yeah.
there you go.
You gotta swap that over.
Size crescent.
Fraction.
So what's our next? Oh, you got another ring?
In 1975, Roger Staubach,
That's a good one.
Super Bowl 10 salesman sample ring. So you
Wow.
think this is like the salesman sample where they would go to like future Super Bowls and say, well, this is what Roger Staubach
Yeah.
looked
Probably,
like in 1975.
or maybe they went to like high school, other football teams, and
said,
said,
this
this
is
is what
Roger's."
Roger had.
Yeah.
Well, don't
We
you
can
want
make
one
one
just-
like just like it
Like
for
Roger's.
you.
or with 2 diamonds instead of 1.
yeah,
Yeah.
with your.
How much was that, baby?
They wanted $3,000 and they got about 2,200. It looks like. For it.
I don't think they done bad.
No. Here's a salesman sample oil pump dispenser. So it's a hand pump for pumping oil. 4 bids on that went for $2,181. Here's a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl 27 NFL Championship salesman sample ring. This has much more diamonds on it than the other one. $2,100 though.
What's Dallas?
It wasn't.
It
It
brought
wasn't.
$100 less, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't Roger Staubach.
Right.
But
Even though that was never worn by him. Here's an antique miniature cast iron salesman sample safe bank with a fitted interior. Oh yeah, so like they've got to show it on the inside, and it's got the compartments where you.
well,
put
I
your
mean, if
stuff
you're gonna
in
have a
there.
sample, it's got to look just like the real deal you're
Exactly,
buying.
sure thing. 41 bids on that.
Wow, that was
$2,065.
Like
Gosh,
all over
who
that.
in the world is going to pay?
I don't. Yeah, that's-
Who? 41 people. Was that?
41 people
well, not-
were into it.
Well, maybe not 41 people, but several.
Yeah.
we're getting close to a stopping point.
Yeah, we can stop right now.
Well, because about a minute to go.
All right,
Why
here,
don't we
here we
stop
go.
now?
No, we
One
have
more.
here's
One
an
more.
original GI Joe.
oh, I know.
Ah,
yes, sir.
That's it.
Joe.
1964 USA stamped with the red torso salesman sample. 15 bids on that. $1,875.
Now they have a
There
sample
you go.
G.I. Joe. How big was it?
I was going to say, yeah. Well, let's see if we.
Well, it was
if we
bigger
have
enough
time
that it
to
wasn't
pull that.
action
Its others
figure,
were
right?
10
That's
inches,
it,
right?
Or 12, wasn't it? Wasn't it 12?
I think they were 12 inches.
Well, when you stood your G.I. Joe up by your sister's doll, were they the
I
same
had
height?
no sister, so.
Were they the same height? With that, let's take a break, Harry.
Yeah, well-
and you can answer that when we come back.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, you can just give us a call if you'd like, 728-1320, or
If they got a sample of some kind.
yeah, if you got some samples, like let us know.
Salesman sample.
Salesman samples.
Or just give us a call and say, hey.
Airplane bottles don't count, though.
Oh, you mean those little
Hey,
ones that they?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you something about the airplane bottles.
Yeah.
They're collectible, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, they probably
The glass
are.
ones are.
When
You know, they went to plastic.
Oh, they went.
No, I'd say
Oh, no.
I haven't noticed them since.
Have you flew lately?
No.
Do you drink every time you fly?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I guess that
But
might
now,
have
now
something to do
don't
with it.
enough of those little bottles equal one big one?
How many?
Yeah, enough of those little bottles drinking them. Don't that
suitcase
equal
full.
one big one?
Okay, cool. All right, so what you got next?
I've got a salesman sample pinball machine, 1930 Steamboat Willie.
Now that's different.
Whoa.
Well, that'd be a good one.
That's pretty cool. Now it's like the pin dropper, you know. With the,
Yeah.
so they wanted $2,500, and they got about $1,500 for it, which is not
Well,
bad.
wasn't Steamboat Willie
was-
the first
he was the-
Disney cartoon?
Yeah, he was the future Mickey Mouse.
Mickey
wasn't he?
Mouse, yeah. They called him Steamboat Willie in that. That's old.
Let's see, got more cast iron. Let me jump through something different. Vintage Kellogg's salesman sample, handout photo book, Nestle Hershey briefcase. So, and it's got spices in it too. 18 bids on that, $1,275. 3 very rare all bisque German googly eye dolls on salesman's
Googly eyes.
sample card. So on a sample card, these 3 very elaborate German dolls. 35 bids, $1,251.
You see, if you was a doll collector,
Oh yeah.
you'd want that sample thing to go with your collection, right?
Right.
I would enhance it.
Oh,
And
sure.
like people that collect the stoves or the drink machines,
Right.
those salesman
You had the
samples.
original
You had a
to go with
case
the
with a bunch
sample.
of those salesman sample in there.
Yeah.
1939 vintage Coca-Cola salesman sample
There you are.
miniature
I like that.
cooler. Now this looks
Now, that's
like a
miniature
1939 cooler that's weathered and patinaed. I guess would be the
Yeah.
better word. But it's missing paint on the edges and stuff. Looks authentic. I mean,
Gives
other
it
than
some
it's
character.
small. It went for let's see, about $1,200.
Yeah, now that one there.
$1,200.
Now when that thing come out, it looked brand new. You know, it
Yeah.
looked just
Yeah.
like your machine would look. But that thing evidently got played with.
Well, I was going to say that was a sample, and the guy gave it to his kid to play with.
yeah,
and that's
after they
been-
come to the new model. didn't
when the
they?
new model came out, or when he changed jobs or something.
It's
over
80
the-
years old.
Yeah,
you
but-
know, yeah, like too.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've got that reach-in cooler.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I've seen
And if
some
you
of
open
those,
it
some of
up,
the big ones.
the lids on the back of
Is that the one where you slid the bottle
No,
down
no,
the
no.
rail?
This is the reach-in.
Oh, just to
reach-in.
reach in.
You
for-
pull
Yeah,
it out.
and when you open it up, the back of the lids has got embossed drink Coca-Cola on it.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Now here's something that's odd. A rare Red Wing art pottery miniature salesman sample flower pot with an unusual glaze on it. So it's green with speckled black glaze.
Red Wing.
It's a miniature flower pot is the thing of that.
Well, it looks like about the size of a thimble.
15 bids, $1,212.
I thought it was a cup just sitting here looking at it to start with.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
bet it ain't no taller than a thimble.
yeah,
I bet it ain't neither.
that's crazy.
It looks it's
Man,
tiny from
here is cool. Vintage 1950s action ad neon advertising. Salesman sample clock with a case, Chicago. Let's see, what did they get for it? Between $1,200 and $1,100. You know, so
You remember that cigar when I was telling you about cigars?
Yeah.
I think he's come up on one.
oh, here we go. Water Nymph vintage red cigar label by W. Steiner Salesman sample. Rare.
And what
The
is
water
it?
nymph was the
Is
one
it
that
a
had brought
woman?
the
A
most
picture of a
money on
woman?
there.
It's a picture of a woman with a 1920s large swimsuit on, and she's got a hood, like a Little Red Riding Hood thing,
Yeah.
that she's holding in her hands. You can't tell whether she's taking it off or putting it on. Probably taking it off would be more,
Well,
water
that,
nymph
that
name.
depends on if she went swimming or
If you
Going
get
for-
out of the
Yeah.
water.
Water
Yeah, I
nymph
was
was the
gonna say.
highest price sold label that I saw on there.
Okay. It
Water
was.
nymph,
And they wanted $2,900, and they got at least $1,100 for
for a paper label.
paper.
But it does say sample on it.
Yeah.
All those sample labels do say sample.
My goodness gracious.
That's pretty good.
That is. That's amazing.
How many of them you want?
That went to the back of
How
the
many of them
cigar
can I
box.
afford?
A bunch.
Not me.
1920s SF Browser gas station oil pump salesman sample from Fort Wayne, Indiana. $1,100.
It's a looster, Howard. You remember how when you go get kerosene or something?
Yeah.
Or oil out of it?
Yeah.
It's just a looster with you crank the handle and pump the oil into your glass
I
jars.
wonder
Yeah.
If that little sample actually pumps, I bet it did.
I bet
Oh,
it did
sure.
too. That would be the part that would impress the person
It would
that was
impress
building
me.
those.
Right.
And to go with that, you have to have a display case, don't you?
Right.
Why, yeah.
So here's a vintage Schrader old timer Uncle Henry 31 knife display case from the 1970s with knives. They wanted $3,200. Got at least $2,500 for it.
My goodness.
But you'd have a pocket full of knives there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You'd have a pocket full of pocket knives.
Pocket full of pocket.
Here's a vintage Oakley X metal display case with keys.
Is that for sunglasses? Oakley sunglasses?
Not sure if that's what it is. It's an odd picture. Gosh, they make me click 3 times to get pictures.
Now we got about
Yes.
3 minutes left
Okay,
here.
yes, it is. It's an
Sunglasses.
Oakley.
Well,
It's
you
an
know,
Oakley
like a
sunglasses.
sample display case would be a lot more desirable to me
Yeah.
than the regular display case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, well, I didn't run
There
across
aren't as many of those.
$2,180 though for the Oakley sunglasses display case. Here's a Matchbox vintage display case, car vintage display case from
Now, what's that?
1969.
Matchbox cars?
Yeah, rotary display. So this is like a round.
Yeah.
Like a tower.
Yeah, tower.
I
There
think
you
just
go.
The
Yeah.
individual sections spun on that one, didn't they?
I think just the whole thing spins
Some,
around.
some of them had the ones where the individual
Oh, I haven't
sections.
seen that.
How much
They
is that
put
little baby?
5 bids. It went for $1,300.
Now, did it have the little cars in it?
No cars.
No.
Just
No,
the
no.
display
Now,
case.
some of the cars, they were that. You
Yeah.
have to write
Yeah,
one.
or more.
Oh yeah, some
Yeah.
of them.
Give us
let
one
me
more. We
see.
got to get out of here.
Yeah, we're getting down near about a couple minutes here.
Pocket watch display case. They wanted $1,200 and they got over $850. Here's another Matchbox display case from 1970, $850 after 28 bids. You know, it says Matchbox real big up the top, and
People
it's
were
got
wanting to get their
where
cars
you
put
put your
up.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, you got to display your cards you've collected over the years.
Yeah, well, that's true. You know, if you have a collection, like David said earlier, you know, this complements a collection that
It
you
does.
might
I keep
have
my
or
comic books
validates
on a
it.
comic book
Yeah,
rack.
Validates it. I guess that's
you know, and a lot
You
of
like
times-
that word?
Yeah, I like that, huh?
I think he likes that word.
No.
throwing that around.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works or not, but yeah.
I saw
Good
that
for
in the
you, though.
crossword puzzle the other day.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh, so you work crossword?
No, I look at them, but I don't know. I do the search a word. You
Just
know.
looks at the key in the
That was
back.
7 down.
Yeah,
Well, you better get one more
yeah,
thing. We got to
we're
get
about
out
out
of
of
here. Come on.
time here.
Find
you
us
know.
something.
Here's a Weber Fly Company countertop 3-drawer glass top, $641. So you can with $138 shipping for you
Wow.
to display
Hey,
your fly collection.
A
Listen,
lot of people do that.
Yeah, there you go.
don't forget, go to our Facebook, David Pennington. We
Yeah.
need you to like our show, and also we want
Share.
you to share our show and watch it.
And watch it. And tell your friends.
Like, share, watch.
Repeat.
Repeat. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you next week for more Let's Talk Antiques. And do like they said. Share us on Facebook.
Like,
Watch
share,
it.
watch,
share.
repeat.
Okay. Bye-bye.